Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today, and I hope you're all doing good. My name is Sadia and I'm from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. To support my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment and press the bell icon to receive more videos. In my channel, I will share my knowledge and experience about medicinal herbs, plants, fruit, vegetable, and spices for educational purpose only. Also in my channel, once a week, I will share my own delicious recipe and some of the traditional cooking and baking recipes with you guys. For a first time in my channel, for this cold season of the year, I am going to crochet and knit with you guys. So if you love to learn how to crochet or how to make beautiful things with knitting and crochet, please follow my videos. We are going to start our video with the will and name of God, which is going to be all about how to make the most delicious and buttery bread at home. To make this bread at home, you need to have 2 cups of butter. You also need to have 4 cups of milk. We definitely need to have 3 eggs. You can have it at the room temperature. We need the oil when we are doing the dough. And also we must have 2 tablespoons of yeast. Salt as much as you want it or as much as you need it. Also we need a sugar. And of course when we're making bread, we need white flour or all-purpose flour and a whole wheat flour. Let's start making the bread. Before we are going to use the milk, we need to warm the milk completely, not hot, not cold, warm. And it's the same temperature that we make the regular bread at home. With the 2 cups of warm milk, I add 2 tablespoons of yeast and 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I let it settle till the yeast rise. Once when the yeast is going to be like this and it comes above the milk, this is the time that you can add your other cups of milk, and also you're going to melt the 2 cups of butter and add it to it with the 3 room temperature eggs. Mix them all together, and you don't need to mix them really for a long time. Just mix it a little bit that you make sure the eggs and butter, they are mixed. Then you're going to add your dry ingredient, which is going to be your salt, your flour. Here we used 8 cups of all-purpose flour. The beginning I used 6 cups. Later on I add another 2 cups, and also I add I think it was 3 cups of whole wheat. You can add 4 if you want, but for this recipe I use only 3 because the flour that I use, it is really dark whole wheat, so that's why I use only 3 full cups of whole wheat. Mix them all together, and if you notice that you need to add more milk beside the 4 cups that you have, you can go ahead and add milk, because some flours, the amount of water or milk they think it's different. So for this flour that I use, it's a Rogers flour. I really like this flour, and I add 4 cups of milk. To bring the dough together or mix them together, I did not use extra water or flour. I use oil. So I dip my hand in the oil like this. Here you can see it, and mix my dough from the beginning to all the way to the end. And this is the only time you adding oil. Of course, when you're dipping your hand in the oil, so you use that oil in the dough. So again, we don't say how much exactly I use, maybe half a cup, maybe less than half. It depends. Once when the dough is nice like this, it's not too hard, not very soft, but it's a soft bread. It's softer than a regular dough that you make for a regular bread at home. And it's supposed to be soft like this. After that, when it's done, you cover it with a plastic and also put some cloth on it and leave it somewhere warm till the dough is going to be like this. There we go, double the size. Once when it's double the size, we are going to start making or dividing this dough to balls of dough. And here, as you can see, I use oil. I dip my hands in the oil. Of course, we want to make sure before we use our hands to mix the dough or make the dough or make this dough balls, our hands are completely clean. We don't want to use our hands somewhere else, table or something. Just wash it and with a hot warm soap and warm water, then use it for the dough. Here I'm rolling all the doughs in a balls, and I think I got 3 balls from it here, and they are I cannot give you guys the exact measurement that how many ounce or gram is this, but they are exactly the size of my your hand, palm of your hand. And after when they are all done, as you can see, I'm gonna show it here, putting it on the table. See how big is the balls. And when you're making these balls, make sure the end of the dough is completely closed or sealed. Look the way I'm doing it, pushing it down, and don't leave it open, because this is the one that it's going to help your bread to rise really nice when it's tight. If you leave a little bit hole at the back of, I'll show you guys here. See, I'm pushing it really down, and after that I'm gonna make sure that a hole, look at this. The reason I'm doing that, to make sure there's no holes at the back. If it is like this, then close it, make it tight with your fingers. Don't leave anything, because we don't want any air to go inside the dough. So we keep making it, and as like I said, for this amount of that you guys saw, the flours I use, I made 13 balls from it. Or we can basically make a 13 round bread from this amount of dough or that amount of flours we used. So I'm gonna show you guys one more time here to make sure that we are in the same page. And so to make it easy, I look at this, I'm gonna hold it in my hand, the palm of my hand, to make sure they are all good. If you're a new baker, or the first time you want to bake and you have a scale at home, you want all the balls to be in the same size, go ahead, measure them. But I do this for long, so I don't need it, but it's up to you guys. As long as you can see, and also your hand and your eyes can measure how much they are, on what's the difference between them. So mix them all together like I'm doing it. Sorry that I want to repeat it a few more times. Just wanted to make sure you guys gonna be exactly doing the same. If you don't have a table, you don't need to use the table. Use your hand the way I'm doing it. It's a very old traditional ways. People, they did it for a long time. Once when I am done with it, so what I do, I cover it. So this is the first step we do. Actually, this is the second one. First, we wait the dough to be rise. After it's rise, we make these balls. Then we cover it. We let it set at least for minimum 15 minutes. And like I said, make sure they're all closed and sealed. There's no holes at the back of the dough, because we don't want any air to go inside it. Now we are gonna cover it with a cloth. Same cloth that you use for the dough before, or you can have anything you have. Just put them there and let it rest for 15 minutes. Okay, so here is after 15 minutes, the doughs are ready, and this is the third steps we are going to do to have a nice fluffy bread. So here what we do, we're gonna wrap the oil on the pans, and this is the way we are going to do. We are opening the whole dough completely the way I'm doing it right now. And we are going to make a back. After we open it, we put them back together, and we're gonna make another ball like this, and we make sure the back is completely closed. Again, there is no holes at the back of our balls. I'm gonna just let you guys watch, see the way I am doing it. And the reason I use one pan for it, because we don't want to squish the breads. And if it's a bigger pan you have, you can do two at the same time. But here for the small ones, I do one, and for the bigger pans, I put only two. So this is the second time we are opening all the balls that we have. We are opening it. We put them back together. The other one on top, this side, then the right. Then now we are going to make it back to a ball. You use your tricks, any tricks that you have, you use it to make sure you seal or tie the dough completely. Like again, I'm repeating, we don't want any air to go inside the ball, and that's gonna causing that the bread is not gonna be fluffy if there is air goes inside the dough. So after we finish with all of them, we're gonna put them back on the trays, and this time again we are gonna cover them with cloths, and we're gonna this time not 15 minutes, we're gonna let it rest only for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, let it rest, and after that I'm gonna show you guys what to do with it. Sometimes it is lots of fun to make bread at home. It is take time. Even when you go buy it from outside the bakeries, they also spend lots of time to bake bread. But if you want to make bread at home, please have lots of time and lots of patience if you want to have a very good and tasty and healthy bread at home. It is really time consuming, but beside making bread, the good thing is when you're in the kitchen to bake bread, while the doughs are rising, or you can make a bread, you can be able to make so many other things there. You can cook, you can bake, if your oven is free, you can do lots of things. So one day when you want to make a bread, make sure that you have lots of time in your hand. And as again, you don't need to make one or two bread at a time. Make like I did today, like 13 or 6 or 7 of the baked breads you guys make, and keep them in a freezer. Anytime you can grab them from the freezer and put them in a toaster and eat it. So that's good. So here, like I put all the cloths, and after 10 minutes they rest. Now I removing the cloths, and this is my step number 4. This is the time that I'm going to shape my bread in a round thing. I dip my hand in the oil, press my hands at the back of my hand, and dip it in the oil, and look the way I'm shaping the bread. When you're pressing down the center of the bread, make sure that you press it so hard that you can see a little bit of, this time we need to let the air goes in our bread. This is the time. Otherwise, if you don't have those little holes in the middle of the bread, when you're pressing your finger, or when you're shaping it, what's going to happen, see the way I'm doing it, you press it really hard, because you need at least have 6 or 7 holes in the bread. Otherwise the middle of the bread is going to rise from the center. We don't want that. So after, when you shape the bread, you're going to egg wash it. We have I have the 1 egg with a little bit of milk. Mix them together, and you brush it, and you can put poppy seed, sesame seed, anything you want in the center. Wrap. This time you don't put a cloth on it, you're just gonna put a plastic wrap. Why not cloth? Because we have oil and we have egg wash on top of the bread. We don't want our towels to absorb those ones. So this time we're just gonna put a plastic on top of it. If you have more than 2-3 bread, you keep shaping them all before you put them in inside the oven. By the time you finish, it will take maybe you're gonna have maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 8 minutes, doesn't matter. Then your doughs are ready, or the breads are ready to go in the oven. So that will be our step number 5. So here you go, we shape it round, and again, it's up to you if you want to clean the extra egg wash that you have on the pan, or you're gonna leave it, no problem. And again, after egg wash, you put a plastic on top of them. Once when all of them are done, or you let them rest for at least 8 minutes or 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Now the bread is ready, the dough is completely ready to go in the oven. So even if you want to let it rest for 5 minutes, it's enough, but you need to let them rest. You cannot make them right away like this and then right away put them in the oven. The minimum, you have to let them rest for 5 minutes. The dough is ready, but if you wait another 5 minutes, it will be very fluffy and delicious bread from it. So brush it with the egg wash and put a plastic. In the middle, we're gonna put the sesame, and we make sure when we press our finger, make sure we have a few holes in the middle of the bread. I'm gonna let you guys watch some of them. I just repeat a few more, and after that I'm gonna show you guys when I'm going to put them in the oven. Of course, our temperature is really important, and again, I cannot tell you guys you have to put exactly the same, because some ovens are different, but I want it in a high temperature. So this bread in my oven was baked on 400. So it is 400, which is the high one. And also for 12 minutes I bake them. After 6 minutes, I rotate the bread from top to the bottom. As you can see here, I made 4 at the same time. And if the pans are having 2, so you can make this time 4. Yeah, each time you can make 4 at the bottom and the top. So there you go. Finally, after 12 minutes and a 400 temperature of Fahrenheit, the breads are ready. This is a delicious bread. Believe me, once when you make this bread at home, you will not gonna buy bread from outside anymore. If you don't have lots of time, go with minimum 6 or maximum 6 at a time. If you have more time, go bake more. Keep them in the freezer, like I said before. But this bread is very delicious, especially for breakfast, with your tea, with your masala tea, any things. It's a very delicious bread, and you're gonna love having it, and it's not very hard. Like I said, only takes time, but during that time that you make it, you can do lots of other things in the kitchen. If you have nothing to cook or bake, you know what you can do? You can clean the cabinets while you're making the bread. So these are just an idea. And here is my 13th bread is ready. I already couldn't wait myself. I had a piece of it, and look at, they are still, even it's warm, but when you press down the sides and in the center, they're coming back up. And this is all because of those rollings that we did, the dough. We roll it, we made a ball, we flat it again, then we make a ball again. That's the reason we have this fluffy things in our bread. I hope you guys are able to make this bread at home and enjoy this bread with your family. It is a very delicious bread, and please try it. The recipe, exactly what I did, you see it here. I use that recipe. There's nothing less or more. And again, it depends on the flour. If you need to add a little bit more milk in it, go ahead, do it. But the amount of butter and the stuff is all exactly the same it is. Please try this bread at home. Enjoy it with your family and with your friends. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to my channel to support my channel. Have a good day.